The bitter chill of winter bit into the bustling streets of New York City. Adam, an 18-year-old college freshman, hurried along the crowded sidewalk. His black curly hair peeked out from beneath his beanie, and his brown eyes scanned the shop windows, lost in thought about an upcoming exam. Tall and athletic, he cut an impressive figure amidst the throng of pedestrians. As he turned onto the high street, Adam's gaze landed on a young girl huddled against a building, shivering in her threadbare coat. She couldn't have been more than 16. Her blonde hair was tangled, and her blue eyes were wide with desperation as she held out a trembling hand, begging for spare change to buy food. "Please, just a little help," she murmured to passers-by, most of whom ignored her. Adam's heart ached at the sight. He hesitated for a moment before making up his mind and stepping towards her. "Hey," he said gently, crouching down to her level. "What's your name?" The girl looked up, surprised that someone had stopped. "Amy," she replied softly. "Amy, I'm Adam." "Are you okay?" he asked, though the answer was painfully obvious. Amy shook her head, tears welling up in her eyes. "I'm just so hungry. I haven't eaten in 2 days." Adam's mind raced. He pulled out his wallet, but instead of giving her money, he said, "Come on, let's get you something to eat. There's a diner just down the street." Amy hesitated, unsure if she could trust him, but the gnawing hunger in her stomach made the decision for her. She nodded and stood up, her legs unsteady from the cold and exhaustion. As they walked, Adam asked, "How did you end up here, Amy?" She looked down, her voice barely above a whisper. "My mom and I were living on the street after my dad left us. He fell in love with another woman, and we couldn't afford the rent. My mom got sick with brain cancer, but we didn't have money or insurance for treatment. We lived on the street until she died. Now I'm alone." Adam felt a surge of anger and sadness for her situation. "That's awful. No one should have to go through that." They reached the diner, and the warmth inside was a welcome relief. Adam ordered a hearty meal for Amy, and as she ate ravenously, he thought about what he could do to help her beyond just this one meal. "Do you have anywhere to go?" he asked after a while. Amy shook her head, her eyes downcast. "No, nowhere." Adam made a decision. "Look, I have a spare room in my apartment. It's not much, but it's warm and safe. You can stay there until we figure something out." Amy looked at him with a mix of hope and fear. "Why are you helping me?" "Because everyone deserves a chance," Adam replied simply. "And I couldn't just walk past you knowing I could do something to help." For the first time in weeks, Amy felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, things were going to get better. Adam brought Amy to his apartment, a modest but cozy space that immediately made her feel safe. He showed her the spare room, complete with a soft bed, clean sheets, and a small dresser. Amy couldn't remember the last time she had seen such comfort. "There's a bathroom down the hall," Adam said. "You can take a shower and freshen up. I'll find some clothes for you." Amy nodded, feeling overwhelmed with gratitude. After a long, hot shower, she emerged feeling like a new person. Adam had left a set of clean clothes outside the door for her. She slipped into them and felt a sense of normalcy returning. Over the next few days, with regular meals and a warm place to sleep, Amy's health improved dramatically. Her blonde hair, now clean and brushed, shone with a natural luster. Her blue eyes regained their sparkle, and her cheeks, once hollow, filled out with a healthy glow. Adam couldn't help but notice how beautiful she was becoming. In the weeks that followed, Adam helped Amy get back on her feet. He introduced her to community resources and even found her a part-time job at a local bookstore. The two of them became close friends, supporting each other through their respective struggles. Adam learned that sometimes the smallest act of kindness could change someone's life. And Amy discovered that there were still good people in the world, willing to lend a hand when she needed it most. Together, they faced the challenges ahead, their lives forever intertwined by that fateful encounter on a cold winter's day in New York City. As Amy stood out more each day, her beauty was a testament to the transformative power of compassion and hope. One evening, as they sat in the living room, Adam turned to Amy with a serious expression. "Have you ever thought about finding your father?" Amy's face darkened, and she shook her head. "No. He deserted us when I was only 10 years old. He chose another woman over us. My life was really painful because of that." Adam reached out and took her hand. "I understand, but he's still your father. No one can change that. Maybe he regrets what he did. Maybe he can help you now." Amy looked away, her eyes filling with tears. "I don't know if I can forgive him, Adam. He caused so much pain." "Just think about it," Adam urged gently. "You don't have to decide now, but at least consider giving him a chance." Reluctantly, Amy nodded. "I'll think about it." Determined to help her, Adam put out an advertisement on Facebook and Instagram, detailing Amy's story and their search for her father. They didn't expect much, but a few days later, they received a message from a friend of Amy's mother. "I saw your post," the message read. "I know where Amy's father is." Adam quickly responded, and after exchanging several messages, they obtained the address for Amy's father. Adam shared the news with Amy, who looked both apprehensive and hopeful. "Do you want to meet him?" Adam asked softly. Amy took a deep breath, her eyes filled with uncertainty. "I don't know, but I think I need to. For closure, if nothing else." Despite knowing where Robert lived, Amy hesitated to meet her father. Robert had moved to Chicago while Adam and Amy still stayed in New York. After getting Robert's phone number from him via Facebook, Robert expressed his desire to meet Amy and Adam in New York, but Amy refused. With Adam by her side, Amy finally gathered the courage to meet her father, opening a new chapter in her life and discovering that forgiveness and love could heal even the deepest wounds. Reuniting with her father and meeting her new family brought Amy a sense of belonging she had longed for, and she found peace in knowing she was not alone. 1 year passed, and Amy's feelings began to change. She decided she was ready to meet her father. Adam supported her decision, and together, they boarded a plane to Chicago. Upon arrival, a chauffeur drove them to Robert's luxurious home on the outskirts of the city. The mansion was enormous, with 10 rooms and expansive grounds. As they approached the entrance, Amy's nerves were palpable. Adam squeezed her hand reassuringly. Robert, a tall man with graying hair, waited at the door. When he saw Amy, his eyes filled with tears. He rushed forward, pulling her into a tight embrace. "I'm so sorry, Amy," he sobbed, his voice choked with emotion. "I made terrible mistakes. Can you ever forgive me?" Amy, overwhelmed, let herself cry in his arms. "I don't know, Dad, but I'm here to try." Robert introduced Amy to his new wife, Margaret, and their 3 sons. The boys were curious and friendly, immediately welcoming Amy into their home. Margaret was kind and understanding, making every effort to make Amy feel at ease.